If you knew what you were made of, then we would save the world.
And what's really sad is that people are entirely unaware of the advantages of melanin as well. So this is one of the discussions that I don't think we have enough of, because there's so much, I can't even say misinformation. I prefer to say there's almost a information blackout when it comes to the benefits of melanin. It's one of the discussions that they don't want to have. And this is why you got a whole, I mentioned SPFs earlier, and this is one of the reasons why you got a whole bunch of people, black people, slavering SPF on their skin because they think they need it to prevent their skin from sun damage. And they don't realize they've just been sold an entire lie, because the Western media, I wouldn't even say Western media, in fact, because they normally rely on social media posts to perpetuate these lies. They normally don't even risk promoting this in the news and stuff like that because they know it's not true. Black people, the melanin in their skin is capable of so much. It does so much more than just sun protection, which is what they sell. It's, you know, it's responsible. It goes into your, by the way, when when you're melanated, that melanation goes into your cells. Okay, it goes right down deep into your mitochondria. Okay, it's not just limited to the surface of your skin. It prevents UV absorption. It prevents the damage of your cells on a cellular level, not just on the surface level. And it also is responsible for the conversion of sunlight. Acts in a very similar way that, you know, chlorophyll does in the process of photosynthesis. And so, you know, one of the examples that I could give you on this, I'm not a scientist, but you can research and do the studies on this, by the way. One of the recent things they discovered is the fungi that they discovered in Chernobyl, where they had the radiation spill, and the fungi in Chernobyl was black. It had developed eumelanin. Okay, so it evolved to develop eumelanin because it allowed, the eumelanin content allowed that fungi to survive in a radioactive atmosphere. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Okay, I want you to think about that for a second. The melanin content on the fungi allowed the fungi to not only survive but thrive in a radioactive atmosphere. So it was using the radiation in the air and converting that radiation to useful useful energy, and allowed it to essentially grow and to multiply using melanin. So your melanin can actually be a tool of converting radiation into useful energy. Now that is for all wants and purposes, that is a superpower. Okay, that's the same melanin that you carry, by the way. Okay, it's the same eumelanin that you carry, used in this fungi to do something that is totally amazing. Now, will they communicate it to you in that way? No, they won't. They'll communicate it to you as, oh, it's just there to block the sunlight. And actually, if you've got too much of it, when you're in cold climates, you're gonna get rickets and all of this stuff that they say to us, which is total nonsense. If you do the studies, and I'm going to just kind of summarize this very, very quickly to you. All right, there is no disbenefit from having too much melanin. Zero disbenefit. They've done multiple studies on this, and even the whole idea that unmelanated people, or people with melanin deficiency, okay, I'm just going to call them that for the sake of this stream, unmelanated people producing vitamin D at higher rates, even that is false. They've done the studies and they found that those people just have a higher base rate of vitamin D, because vitamin D is the only thing they synthesize from sunlight. However, we synthesize vitamin D at the same rate. The difference is they only synthesize vitamin D, and we synthesize vitamin D plus a plethora of other vitamins. In addition to that, we don't experience sun damage like they do. So in other words, we don't get UV-induced melanoma. There's almost zero evidence that we get UV-induced melanoma. Do we get melanoma? Yes, we do, but it's a different kind of melanoma called acral litiginous melanoma, which is actually correlated to a lack of UV. So you're actually more at risk of getting acral litigious melanoma from not having sun exposure. So the example that they'll give you that black people do actually get skin cancer is Bob Marley. I'm sure all of you have heard that. Oh, well, Bob Marley got skin cancer in his toe. Why did he get it in his toe? Because he didn't get UV-induced melanoma. He got acral litigious melanoma, which formed in the bottom of his foot where he doesn't get sunlight. That's where black people are at risk. And actually, there seems to be a correlation with if they can get more UV, more sunlight, they're less at risk of catching acral litigious melanoma. Now, so far, the study on that has only been relatively small, so they're not sure what the correlation is. But the studies proving that black people get UV-induced melanoma have only proven that we don't get it. So these are the things that they don't want you to know about yourself, about your indigene and about your own, you know, dormant advantages, so to speak, or your latent advantages, I should say. Yeah, your native advantages that you have in your skin. They don't want you to have that. And they actually make you feel like you're racist when you discuss it. It's like, it's almost like we can talk about black weakness all the time. They love, everybody knows all of the different weaknesses we have as black people because they're advertised to everybody, or disadvantages. Oh, sickle cell. Oh, this, that, and we know them ad nauseum. Oh, you guys and your vitamin D. Oh, you do better with vitamin D. Everyone knows all of the weaknesses, but when it comes to actually discussing the advantages to having melanin, the advantages to having black skin, we're supposed to sit there stum. Oh no, I'm gonna put SPF on my skin. We can get it just like they can. No, we don't. That's why I don't put it on my skin. Okay. That's why I don't put it on my skin. That's why I'll go to Ghana and Nigeria in the height of summer. I'll go to the Middle East in the height of summer, and I will not put a drop of SPF on my skin because I absolutely do not need it. I don't need it. Now, do I lie in the sun like a moron? Yeah. in the height of the sun and risk getting sunstroke? No, I don't do that because that's just stupid, and you won't see local people doing that. However, am I scared of walking through the sun or being in the sunny atmosphere? And do I put SPF on my skin? No, I do not, because actually the chemicals in SPF are much more harmful to me than just not wearing anything in terms of skin protection at all. And you don't need it because your melanin is your natural skin protection given to you by the gods. But there you go. These side rants are long, innit?